Good morning, dear Stitchers. Welcome back to JBW Designs, a Flosstube channel, of course, about cross stitch. I am so grateful for all of those of you who watch regularly and write to me and make comments, and I'm very excited when I get little notes saying I'm a new subscriber or a new viewer. So welcome to all of you. It is Flosstube number 69. It is December 1st. And I wish I could show you the windows outside to say it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It is not. It is raining. It is gray. So we had beautiful snowfall earlier in the week, but that's gone. This is what happens, right? Hopefully it will come back. So I have a few life updates to tell you about. And first of all, I hope that you had a nice Thanksgiving last weekend. A long weekend with your family or your friends, and that you were able to get some stitching done or decorating. Actually, that's what I did. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we didn't have anything planned, so every day I did just a few more things. I'm trying not to put out everything because it's getting to be overwhelming. So one of the things that I wanted to tell you about today that you might be surprised about, maybe not, is that I love other designers' works, and I'm sure that's true for anyone. We admire the things that our compatriots have made, have designed, and if we have time, I love to stitch them. Now, I stitch all my own models, so I don't have a lot of time to stitch other people's work, but I have a few that I thought I'd share with you today. So the first one, which you've seen probably in many, many videos, is Brenda Gervais. I think it's called Early Christmas Morning. I forgot to get I found the booklet, but I loaned it to my neighbor because she was admiring it the other day and said she wanted to stitch it. So it's such a dear design. I just love it. In her booklet, it's actually finished as a small box. But I love it as a pillow. So that's one that I've stitched from another designer. I also really admire Artful Offerings, and I stitched this quite a few years ago. The interesting thing is it looks like it's on toweling. That red is actually stitched. It's just one of my favorites. And then another favorite, and I know where it came from. I don't know what year it was. So this is from Punch Needle and Primitive magazine. I think it was probably 5 or 6 years ago. And maybe somebody who's watching will know this and has stitched it yourself. And you can tell us so I can tell the people in the next video, tell our watchers. So I just love this one. And as you know from looking around my office, when I've done other views, for some reason I love rabbits. I don't have an explanation for that, but I have several rabbit lamps, I have rabbit bookends, they're everywhere. So they're multiplying. That's okay, I just love them. So the first thing I want to show you is I always love to see what people post on my Friends of JBW Designs Facebook page. And if you haven't joined yet, just, ask to join, answer a few questions. As you know, I've been having some trouble with people joining who want to post things that are not mine. And it's not a huge problem, but I have to be careful. So I want to know when you join how you found out about me, and just, answer one or two questions. That would be great. So this last week, last couple weeks, we've had some great finishes. And I'm going to show you them. I just have 3 to show you. So, and I love how she did it. This was done by Inherited Stitches. She finished it in a hoop. And it is from the booklet called Christmas Motif Sampler II. And let's see, did she do this? No, you know what? I pulled the wrong booklet. All right, we will correct this right now. So this is actually Christmas Motif Sampler I, and one of the things she said to me, which is why I had to look at it again, is that in the book number 1, I have, I think, little rabbits down here, and she left those off so that it would fit in the hoop. But it's just darling. So, sorry about that. So Christmas Motifs 2 is just a little bit different. It's got reindeer and rabbits. These patterns were actually done quite a while ago. Let's look at the date. Yes, this is an antique. I designed it 18 years ago. This, I don't know if this gingham fabric is still available. You'd have to check. I believe, well, it used to be distributed by Norden Crafts, but they're no longer distributing. So I guess you just have to look it up. It's possible that Zweigart or even Fabric Flare has the gingham linen. So that was one of the designs. Another one that was posted was this, and this was posted by, oh dear. I thought I wrote down who it was. I'm going to have to get close to show that to you. So she finished it as a box, which is how I finished one of these designs also. This says, it's very hard to see, says Grace, and her finishing is just gorgeous. Let's see if I can look in the booklet. Here we go. So I don't show you. This is what she was trying to replicate. Was my finisher finished it in as I say, as a box, and I just love how it turned out. So I'm so sorry to the person who sent this to me. I meant to record your name. And then the third item that appeared, oh, I know, there's one more that's very similar to this, and it might be something that you'll be interested in, because I think we all need some blessings in our lives, and some of us hopefully have some. I love this design. It's the same kind of concept as the Grace design, and let's see. It was stitched on antique 32 count Belfast linen. I should get out this model and show you another time because the model is quite beautiful. And then the last design that was featured in the last couple weeks, let's see if I can get this close enough, is English Plum Pudding. And she finished it in a hoop. This is Elizabeth. And I just love this design. Now, it is not available in a booklet form any longer. The booklet is out of print. So the original design actually was done in a brown floss to look like chocolate, but it is available, let's see if I can show you, in my Christmas Ornament II booklet, and it's right here. And when I stitched it the second time, I stitched the little plum pudding in red with a little yellow on top. So the chart is still available. So I thought you'd be interested in those little finishes. All right, let's set this out of the way. I always tell you I'm surrounded by stuff, and that's very true. So let's set that over here. Now, what do I want to tell you about? A couple things here. Last time when I did my video, I showed you this little stocking, and it is free, and I will try to again put a link in my notes below. If you go on Instagram, or actually even Google, one of my readers said she just Googled counted threaded stitcher JBW free design, and she was able to find the chart. But what I want to tell you, if you're unable to find the chart, because often people have trouble with that, just write to me, Judy@gbwdesigns.com. I will send you the chart. So I designed this fall for the Counted Thread Stitchers event that they do a couple times a year. So, write to me if you need it. All right, the next topic has to do with, I always have a contest on my Friends of JBW Designs Facebook page. And it's just, it's supposed to be just a fun thing for you to look at. I always post 3 designs. I ask you to tell me which is your favorite. As I told you before, I love reading the comments. People are quite funny. I can't choose, I love them all. But anyhow, after about 2 weeks, depends on my schedule, I go back and I tabulate all of the number of people who have voted, and I choose one number with a random number generator to win all 3 of the booklets. So it's just, I want to show you the designs that are in the newest contest. So this too is, I should look it up again. I will have to look it up. So this is a tiny little snowman. It's really a French country snowman. And I think it is in one of my, I'll have to look it up. I think it's still available in a booklet form with a couple of other winter designs. And I'm drawing a blank on the title. But it is available in the Christmas Ornament Collection IV booklet. You can see it right here. So that was, my theme was snowmen, because Tuesday it was a beautiful snowy day, and I thought, what should be my theme? So I chose 3 different snowman designs to share with you. This is the second one, which is from the Sing a Song series, and this is Frosty the Snowman. And that was stitched on a 32 count Belfast latte linen. And there are 15 different stockings in the Sing a Song series. So you'll have to do a search. I've been showing them off and on over the last couple weeks, but some people are really enjoying stitching those. And you know what? It's getting so close to Christmas. You're probably throwing up your hands and saying, Judy, I can't do this. Well, you know what? If you're like me, I find things I like, I put them in my stash, because someday I might want to stitch them. So the third design in the contest is called Sledding Snowman. And I've showed the little sleds before. This particular one, this model is stitched over 1 on a 28 count, but I also stitched it over 2, and it fits on the larger sled. And the over 2 was stitched on a vintage blue Whisper, like this one was, a 32 count. So the design on the front of the booklet is actually the design that's stitched over 2. So you'll have to go and vote, and we'll tabulate, and then maybe you'll give me an idea of what I should do in the next contest. That would be fun. All right, so moving on, I always try to have some kind of an outline of the things I want to talk to you about. And since my theme is my favorite things, I thought I would show you some things that I don't think, some of them you may have seen before. This one is very large, so you'll probably get some giggles out of me trying to lift it up and show it to you. But my goal is always to inspire you. I'm hoping that you see beautiful things, or that I give you some hints on finishing. That's what I want to do when I do these videos. So I'm going to move my chair slightly, and I'm going to pick up this, which is very, as I say, very large. So I did this, we'll look up the date in a minute, many, many years ago. And it is the Advent calendar. And after it was finished, actually, by a framer in Florida called Creative Framing, and she's still in business. She did an amazing job. You can see that there is a fabric inner lining for the mat. After I finished it, I had a better idea of what I would do if I was going to do it again. So one thing that you should know, of course, there are 24 ornaments. Let me take one off here. I put just little Velcro here and the number on the linen that goes underneath all of this. So it has a border, it's included in the booklet, but my idea for you is, rather, if you didn't want to do the whole Advent calendar, 2 things. You could do them individually and hang them on a small tree, and that would be fun for a child to take number 1 and each day hang another ornament on the tree. The other idea that I had is that if I was to do it again, I would put a magnetic board behind my linen, and then I'd have a little magnet on the back of each one, and then I think they would stay against the linen a little more firmly than the Velcro does. But these would make darling individual ornaments. As I say, The designs are very, very tiny. I think that's the kind of thing that you could stitch in an evening. I know some of you, I'm thinking of several I've heard lately, that are just really enjoying stitching the ornaments. So let me tell you or show you what the booklet looks like. So it is, it's actually quite a large booklet. I can't open it up because of course the chart is on the inside, but I did several things with the designs here. I made them into little pillows, mounted them on velvet pillows with little buttons in the corners. They've been finished as ornaments with a ruched ribbon. I did 3 of them and finished them in a pillow. And I just used the border that is in the booklet and adjusted that to do the 3 designs. Now this booklet is still in print. Oh, let's look it up. I was going to look up the, yes, this is an old one too, 2006. I'm getting out all my oldies but goodies. So this, I just am having it reprinted this week. And so I should have it back in stock. I've actually had several shops order it recently. And my shop of the week I'm going to tell you about in a minute. She has a model of this in her store, and she orders it all year round. So I get quite a kick out of that. All right, now what are some of my other favorites? Let's see here. Let's look at what I have here. So this is another one, and I may have shown it to you, but we'll see if perhaps this inspires you. So this is my Christmas in the Round design, and let's get the booklet up here. You can do it in any color, of course, you want. What I love about this finish, let me show you the back of it, is that this is a sign that Hobby Lobby carries. They actually, I don't know if they still have them in stock. I haven't been there in a couple weeks, but they actually carried it in red, in kind of a metal finish. And but I love the white wood because I can set it on a table. It's just so easy to display. It looks adorable. When I finished it as a flat with twisted cording, and then I put a very pretty lining on the back of it. I just love the way it turned out. So that's one of my favorites. Now, I have another idea for you, and that is, let me pull the booklet here again. So as you know, I have many, many round designs. There's kitties and doggy. Name a topic, and I've done it in the round. I love designing these pieces. As I told you before, it's like putting a puzzle together. So I order these round wooden scallop, this is hard to say, discs, from a company in France called the Bee Company. And I ordered them fairly regularly. I ordered them after the last market at the end of August. I just got them last Friday. So I have been out of them for so long. But any of the round designs, this one shows stitching in the round, would fit, worked over 2 on 32, 28 count linen, would fit on this disc. And it just makes such a beautiful finishing. You can put ribbon or trim or charms up at the top. So my thought today is just let your shop owner know if you are interested in ordering the rounds, because I do have them back in stock. It's always frustrating that it takes so long. So let's grab another pile of stuff. So a couple years ago, this one isn't quite as antique-y as the rest of them. This has many models to it. Let's see, this was only 2 years ago. So I decided that I wanted to do a set of Christmas rounds. Not rounds, I'm sorry, Christmas smalls. And this is what the title of the booklet is. So there are 5 different designs in this booklet. There is a little, I'll show you all the models here in a minute. There is a little scissor fob. There is a little scissor case, and that has a design. This is the back of it. It actually has this on the front of it. Let's see if I can show you this without. This is a very, let's see if I can, yeah, I can show you this side. So it's one of my small booklets, but if I make it into an accordion like this, I can get many charts into one booklet. So here are some of the other designs that I did. I did a strawberry. I did a needle minder, and I did a pin keep. And I just love the way they turned out. Now I think, except for the tree and the little wreath, they actually look very springy to me. You know I love pastel colors. So let me show you the models. This is what the little needle case looks like. It's finished with 2 separate discs covered in fabric. So on this side you would need 2 discs, and if you want to see more hints on finishing, I think my video either 67, we'll have to go back and check, or 66, I'll look at my notes. I did quite a few notes on finishing, so you can go back there and hear about what I use and how I cover the boards. So the back has 2 pieces that have to be sewn together, and the front is just a single piece with the fabric wrapped around and the design mounted on the front, and then these can be tied together, and that's just a little piece of felt in the center. So that's one of the Christmas smalls. Here is the little scissor fob, which has a wreath, and then I found this darling fabric in my stash with a tiny Christmas tree on it. I love how that turned out. I finished all of these myself. Aren't you proud of me? Here is the pin keep, and again I used that same fabric on the backing. It's just 2 discs sewn, hand sewn together, and the pins are put in between the 2 discs. It's just a sweet little thing that you could put in your traveling needle case. It makes a nice accessory. Here is the scissor case, and this is an interesting one because it's actually a flat. So it is, the design is on the front. I've sewn 2 pieces of my front design together. On the back I put a little pocket over the lower, and incidentally, all of the finishing instructions on how I did these are in this booklet. So even though I'm telling you briefly how to do it, there are written instructions in that booklet, and then the little scissors just go in that pocket. And then the last one, which was really a challenge for me because I had never finished a strawberry before. And so, as I've mentioned before, and you know, Vanna Pfeiffer is the queen of beautiful finishing instructions and videos. So I watched her strawberry finishing several times. It's probably not perfect, but I was really proud of how it came out. So it's just a little vase with kind of Christmas flowers in it. I put a few bells and a little holly wool at the top, but I love how it turned out. So those are the designs from Christmas Smalls. All right, let's see, what else do I have here? Let's move things aside so we make room. So one of the things that I thought would be fun, let's see, I wonder if I can turn this a little bit. I probably can. Let me get some things out of the way here, including my cup of tea. Let's see, I want to move this in closer so that you can see that I have, let me lift it up. I have pulled 20 of my ornaments from my Ornament Collection booklets, and I sort them actually by booklet because when I do trunk shows, let me turn this so you can kind of get an idea of some of them. I'm going to show you them quickly, individually. I'm going to take them off the tree, but I put them on this tiny little tree. Star looks a little crooked, but that's what happens. But I just love how they look. Now these are stitched. I'm going to move that aside so I can talk to you about them. Let's see if I can move it closer. These are stitched on 28/1, but I always tell you, choose the fabric you're comfortable with. If you work on Aida, if you work on an even weave, if you do them over 32, they will still be darling ornaments. So let's slowly take these off, and what I do is on the back of the ornament, just for my own use, because as I say, send them off to trunk shows, I put a little number, so I'm able to tell you which booklet they come from. So this tiny little sleigh was actually originally in a Scandinavian booklet, and it is from book 2. So I'm going to You know what you might do is just get a pencil and paper, and if you see ornaments that you just love, maybe that will kind of encourage you to say, oh, I want to order that book. So here's another one. This is from book 3. This is a tiny little sweater. This one I think you've seen before. The reindeer is from the most recent book, book 5. Here is a tiny little stocking, easy to stitch, that was in book 4. I'm going to have to redo my tree after the video is over. All right, here is the model for English Plum Pudding, stitched in the original colors. But as I say in the booklet, I did this part in red. So that little English Plum Pudding is made up of all kinds of little Christmas symbols. It has a reindeer and a heart and holly and a tree and a horn and a star. You have to study it to see them all. So that is in book 2. All right, let's get another one here. This is in book 5, the little reindeer. Easy to stitch in one night. All right, let's rotate this. This is, I love this little tree. It's very Scandinavian looking. This is in book 3, and it's just a little tree with hearts on the ends of the branches. Here's a little ice skate, and this is in book 2. And most of these are just finished as flats with some kind of trim around the edges. I usually join the trim at the base or at the top, and then if I do that, I use a bow or a little bit of a pin or a charm to cover that joining. Let's see, let's pull this one. Here's a little Christmas sleigh, and that is in book 4. Let's see here. Here is, it's a partridge in a pear tree, and this is in book 3. Many of these designs were in books that I published over the many years that I've been designing. And so what I've done, as you probably know unless you're new, is I've done compilations taking those designs, and instead of you having to buy 20 booklets with the designs in them, I have kind of curated them for you. So each booklet has 20 ornaments in it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I just ran out of book 5. I just got an order from my distributor. So that is being reprinted, and it's ready today. So I've got to send my husband off on a little errand to pick them up. This is from book 1. This is also very Scandinavian looking. The little hearts in red and green. Let's see where this one's from. This is the little Dellarobia wreath, and that is from book 3. Let's turn this again. This is from book 1, and it's just a little French country stocking. I hope this is going all right for you. This is a little winter hat, and that is from book 2. Here is a heart that is actually made up of the alphabet, and it is in book 5. This is one of my favorites too. This booklet is still available, but this I did, it's the snow globe, and I put that in book 2. And you can see that that also has the same elements of the French country designs, which are many motifs in one piece. Let's see, this is a tiny little heart finished with ruched ribbon, and that is in book number 1. I ended up having to design some new ones in the later books because I didn't have enough. This is in book 4, and that was a design that was never published in a booklet form, but it is an ornament. It would actually be sweet as a Valentine's gift. All right, this little ornament is from one of my Christmas tree collection books, and this is in book 1. And if you study it, it's really a tree that's made up of trees. All right, this is a funny one. If you study it closely, I don't know if I can get it up close enough, there are little tiny buttons on there, and I think I call this like Grandma's Buttons wreath, and this is in book 2. And it was finished with cording. This is professionally finished, and it has a little bit of that trim around the side that looks very, very lacy. All right, this is in book 1, and it's just a circle of trees. Let's see, we're getting to the end here. This little dove is in book 5. Let's see what else we can show you. This little stocking actually is from a book that's out of print. It was called Petite Stockings, I think. And this is in book number 5. It's just a little wreath with borders behind it. This is from book 4, and it's a very traditional basket full of fruit or berries. Look at the fabric on the back here. Isn't it just a beautiful, oh, you can see it on the front too. It's just a beautiful match. Let's see. We're almost done. This is the last one. So these are my favorites, and this is a tiny little tree, and it was in book 4. So I hope you enjoyed my little preview here of my very, very favorite ornaments. So let's take a look at what I still want to cover with you. I have no idea how long I'm going. I always have to look. All right, so I mentioned that I always love to feature a shop every week in my videos because it's so important. Shops are the key to my business, and sometimes they order directly from me. They can order through my distributors, but I'm so appreciative. So each time I do a video, I try to feature a store and encourage you, if you can, if you don't have a local store, to give them a call, go on their website, place an order. They'll be so appreciative. So this week's shop is called Old Town Needlework, and it is in Scottsdale, Arizona. The address is 7128 East 5th Avenue, and I'll put this in my notes below. I have her phone number on here. As I say, I'll put that in the notes below. The owner is Janice, and her email is info@oldtownneedlework.com. And I checked yesterday, she does have a website, and this is the shop that has the model of the Advent calendar. So I thought, oh, what a good shop to feature this week. So I've got, let me take a quick sip here. I've chosen 3 winners from the last video I did, and you don't have to make a special comment. I just go through with the random number generator and choose 3 people. So if your name is called, just email me. As I mentioned before, that's the best way for me to see your notes, and send me your address, and you can choose any of the designs that I've shown in today's video. So the winners this week are Leslie Price 92, Crafty V 3750, and Sherry Bristol. And I had to laugh. Oh, I have a few more to show you. I just thought of it. I'll do it in a minute. I have a stocking called the Bristol stocking, and whatever Sherry you choose, I will make sure I send the Bristol stocking to you, just in honor of your last name. So my other favorites, actually, and I just looked sideways here, are I designed 4 stockings this fall, and I've done stockings before, but I kind of switched from the sing-a-song stockings to different themes. So I did a Danish stocking. That model is actually out at a trunk show. I did, as I say, the Bristol stocking, and that booklet looks like this. And the model that I just showed you was worked on a 32 count over 2. And then I did a sampler stocking, and that too is at a trunk show right now. And then the last one that I can show you is I did a Stitcher's stocking. And the little stitcher stocking over one looks like this, and the little stitcher stocking over two looks like this. So I have many favorites, don't I? I guess as a designer you do. So I have another pile of things to show you, but I'm going to tell you about a couple of other things. How to contact me. As I said, Judy at jbwdesigns.com. My Instagram is judy.whitman. I have a website, jbwdesigns.com. I do have things for sale on my website, some of my old designs, but as I say, I try to support my shop, so my newer things are not on that website. But you can order on the website. You just go to the heading that says shop, and that will take you to many, many pages if you're interested. So the last thing I wanted to tell you, oh my goodness, this is so heavy. When I told you in the beginning that I like to stitch things by other designers, I have done stockings. So we have a fairly large family. We have 2 children, 6 grandchildren, 1 married, and we have a baby on the way due on Christmas Eve. So I have stitched shepherd's bush stockings for every single person in the family. Now, I didn't do this all in 1 year. Believe me, I did it slowly. I did my husband and I first, and then our children, and then grandchildren as they came along. So it's been a gradual process. So this is Kylie's stocking. She is the mother-to-be. I'll show them to you quickly. Here is Wyatt's stocking, and he is Kylie's husband. I just love shepherd's bush stockings. I've been stitching one for the new baby, but it won't be done in time. But she's not here yet, so I have time to finish it before next year. Here is Tristan's stocking. Here is our daughter-in-law Brenda's stocking. And you know they always have the most wonderful charms that go with their designs. Here is our son Mark's stocking. Here is our daughter Chris' stocking. Here is our grandson Cody's stocking. Here is Eliana's stocking. We call her Ellie. Aren't their designs just fabulous? This is my husband's. I can't remember if I've repeated any of the designs. I don't think I have. They have so many. I just saw a new one, in fact. This is our granddaughter Ashton's stocking. I told you there were a lot of them. This is our son-in-law Craig's stocking. This is my grandson Liam's stocking, which is kind of funny in a way because when he was a little boy, he loved trains. So it's perfect. I mean, he's almost 20 now, but hopefully he still likes it. And this is the stocking that I did for myself. So I thought you'd get a kick out of the fact that we do like to stitch other designers' works. So my last topic is, what are my weekend plans? Tomorrow I've decorated the house except for the tree. So tomorrow everybody's coming over. We're going to cut our tree down, which is always quite fun to find a tree. And then we'll bring it back here and everybody will stay for dinner. And the funny thing about having so many people in your family is that once we get the lights up and everybody starts putting the ornaments on, this tree will be decorated in less than 10 minutes. It's quite funny because it's just, there they are. All the ornaments are up. So the other thing we're going to do is we adopt, rather than giving gifts to each other as adults, we adopt a family from an agency here in Kalamazoo called Family and Children's Services. And my daughter and grandson and I go out and shop for the family. And in the past, I've always done all the wrapping myself. And this year I had this brainstorm that when people are here tomorrow, I am going to say, please wrap 2 gifts. Each person wrap 2 gifts. And the funny thing is I'm not sure if the boys in the family have wrapped gifts. Some of them may. I figure I'll be giving wrapping lessons tomorrow, right? So that's our plan. We're having an early Christmas this year because as as I mentioned before, the baby is due on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. I have to kind of laugh about it. We've set a week early Christmas for our family, but we know in the world of babies that this little sweet girl could come tomorrow or she could come New Year's. So I will tell you when it happens. So anyhow, thank you so much for watching, for sticking with me this whole time, and I so appreciate all of you, and hope to see you in 2 weeks if all goes well. Have a good time. Bye-bye.